Okay, so the next one we're going to do is this dent here, where this has been pushed down enough to deform the tone hole a good bit. It's kind of hard to see these dents on video. It's so weird. It's like so evident in person that that's super messed up, but it doesn't look too bad on the video side. But if you look in here, let's see, get my stand unstuck and try and move this around so it focuses right. You see that deformation in the bore there? There we go. Yeah, that's no good. That's a decent bit. So we're going to try and push that out. Problem is that there's a rib there, right? See that? There's a big thick rib going from underneath the octave pip to the top of the E post and the upper G post as well. That's going to get in the way and make that extra hard to push out. Now I don't want to unsolder this if at all possible. I mean, this whole thing would require a lot of heat. It's next to another piece. I don't want that to pop off, and soldering stuff back on silver plate, although there's no danger of burning the lacquer. They solder this together and then they plate over it. So it would be evident that this has been resoldered. On a lacquered horn, I can sometimes do a good enough job that it's impossible to tell, but on a silver horn, I'm just not there yet. I don't know if it's possible without spot plating the edge. So we're going to try and push this out as is, and I'll show you how we do that. And there's a little trick we can use that I got taught by Jack Finucane at the Boston Sax Shop, which I believe he learned from Bill Singer, where on Selmer receivers that have the reinforced receiver, like this one here, this would actually be one of the first that did, so I'm very lucky. This piece of metal up here is thick enough that you can actually use it as a little bit of leverage as long as it's not too far away, basically down to the octave pip, to sort of almost use it like a pry bar. Now I am going to put in my dent tool, a little bit of leather on the other side, and locate my dent ball. Okay, that's right where it's supposed to be. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me move this a little bit. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, using this leather to give a little bit of protection to the inside of this tenon, I'm going to locate my dent ball where I want it to be. That's it right there. And then I am going to actually kind of pry just a bit. Pop. There we go. And let's take a look at that. That looks pretty decent to me, I think. I think I actually want to switch sides. I've got the smaller ball because I'm getting pretty close to that octave pip there, and I need just a little bit more room. So a smaller diameter ball, I should be able to get just a little bit farther and get it exactly where I need it to be. Okay, I just want it to be under the edge, the bottom edge of it here. Okay, now let's take another look. So that looks a lot healthier from the outside. I imagine the tone hole is still going to be a little bit warped, but let's see how much progress we made on the inside. That's way better. Now you can see right up next to the tone hole. I can get it to focus like I did last time. right up next to the tone hole, it's still intruding on the bore. So let's see if we can get that exact spot, just that edge there. I'll give you a little bit of a wider view this time so you can kind of see how the whole process is working. And you can see that the tenon isn't damaged. I think just because of the way the leverage is and the reinforced tenon that this trick works. And it's super handy because these upper posts on Selmers are so often screwed up. Okay, yeah, I can feel that pretty good. Okay. Let's make sure I'm in the right spot. Maybe just a little. Check that again. Oops. So we can see on the outside that looks a lot better. Things are a bit more where they're supposed to be. Let's take a look on the inside, see if I can get it to focus again like I did before. Yeah, that is so much better. Maybe just a tiny bit more if I can get it. But we have nearly got that out with the post in place. So it's just going to be more of what I just did, so I'm going to do this off camera so this video doesn't take 4 hours to watch. Okay, so taking the keys off and we can see what's underneath there. So the body tube is in pretty good shape now. And I left the keys on, and I do that a lot because I like to leave keys on when I'm doing dent work if possible, because I feel like it gives me another way to visualize whether I'm keeping everything straight, right? So unless it's really getting in the way, or if I'm done the major part of it, both of which is the case now, I'll leave the keys on when I can. So we can see that the tone hole is a bit deformed after its experience. And specifically, if I look at this, like this edge right here, got pushed in a little bit, and there's like a little bit of a sharp corner to it. So I'm going to take a hand burnisher and push that back a little bit, and then I'm going to take a dent ball and push it through the hole to round it back out. Now this part I'm just doing just a little tiny bit because I want to make sure that the edge is smooth and that I'm not like folding it over or like pushing a piece back in when I put the dent ball through. Now I've got a set of dent balls, a bunch of them, and I'm going to take the one that goes through with very minimal effort and then move up from there in successive sizes. Okay, so this one, that pretty much goes straight through. And these go up by like very small increments. Okay, that one looks like it's legitimately getting caught, so. And it's not taking much force because I'm only going a little bit at a time. And each time I'm going to kind of like, whoop, that one seems like it's oversized. Like it's in the wrong spot. Okay. I think one of them got switched out. This seems like, yeah, that's going to get it pretty close to round, I think. Now I'm not applying very much pressure. I'm pretty much just like, you might be able to see my hand. I'm mostly letting the hammer fall. trying to keep it relatively straight as it goes through. It's pretty close to going through now, so make sure I'm going really light. And I'm not like going to smack the horn really hard when it goes all the way through. Next size up. Now this one, it's this side of the tone hole farthest from us is, pushing against this post rib here. So I want to make sure that I don't get to the point where this is pushing against the rib and I'm just starting to deform this side of the tone hole. Now it looks to me like I've got a little bit of room on that side still, so I think we'll be okay. But something I'm going to try and be aware of as I do this. If it starts to feel like I'm really applying a lot of pressure to get these dent balls through, which it doesn't feel like yet, then might have to reconsider my methods and or what I'm willing to accept at the end. But this is starting to look pretty good. So I'm going to put this same ball through again. And one more time. It's starting to look pretty round. Now I think I'm going to go back and check this part of the dent right here, and then come back and do this one more time. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the way the actual body tube looks here. So now I just want to clean this up a little bit more. Now I'm going to take a hand burnisher and place it against this part of the tone hole and just give it a couple little hits. This part right here kind of just needs to be adjusted just a bit. Yeah, I think I need something with a smaller diameter. Let's see what I got. Okay, here we go. Just a hardened steel rod. Too far, let's come back. Tiny little spot, just don't like the way it's coming out. Okay, now we're a little closer. Okay, and I can probably, if I get this stuff out of the way. Oh man, of course it's frozen. Turn it off and come back. Okay, so able to get one of the 3 rods undone. That would give me access here. So I just want to get a little bit of purchase on the edge of this guy here. start re-rounding it to where I like it. Okay. Okay, we're starting to look okay there. It's a little bit chewed up where the actual like deformation was, which is right here. This was like pushed in a pretty deep V. But I think once we get this rounded out to my satisfaction, we can check it up with a tone hole file if necessary. Okay, I think this will be the last one we push through here. And when it's like, you know, in as far as it's going to go, you can kind of check it for roundness, make sure everything's like where you want it to be. I think maybe like I'm going to use a piece of wood for this one because I don't want to apply like too much pressure by accident. But I'm just going to knock that top side back in just a tiny little bit. Yeah. Now this one's going through not quite so easy as before, and what that tells me is that now I've got pressure all the way around. So we're getting to the original size of the tone hole here. And I don't want to go past this because then I'd be slightly expanding the size of the tone hole. Before it was going through so easy because it was rounding out like an oval shape. Now it's round against round, so the pressure has increased. Okay, let's do that one more time, and I think we're going to call that one done for now. Maybe once more. Okay, and then we'll call it done, I swear. Okay, so there is our previously crushed in post and deformed tone hole fixed without any resoldering. And I think you'd be pretty hard pressed to look at that and know that that was damaged the way it was just a little while ago.